Today we will discuss about what is Linux, the importance of Linux, the distribution of Linux, and the basic and terminal of Linux. Just like Windows, iOS, and Mac OS, Linux is an operating system. In fact, Android is powered by Linux operating system. An operating system is software that manages all of your hardware resources associated with your desktop or laptop. To put it simply, an operating system manages the communication between your software and your hardware. Without the operating system, the software wouldn't function. The Linux operating system comprises several different pieces.
First is the bootloader. Bootloader manages the booting process of your computer. For most users, it is a simple splash on the screen and eventually goes away to boot on the operating system. Second is the kernel. The kernel is the one piece of the whole called Linux. The kernel is the core system and manages the CPU, memory, and peripheral devices. The kernel is the lowest level of the OS. Third is the init system. This is a subsystem that bootstraps the user space and is charged with controlling daemons. One of the most widely used init system is called the systemd, which happens to be the most controversial. It is the init system that manages the boot process once the initial booting is handed over from the bootloader. Fifth is the graphical servers. This is the subsystems that displays graphics on your monitor. It is referred to as X servers or just X. Sixth is the desktop environment. Desktop environment is the piece that the user usually interacts with. There are many desktop environments to choose from, like what I have written in the board. Each of these desktop environment includes built-in applications like file managers, web browsers, configuration tools, and games. Seventh and last important piece of Linux operating system, application. Desktop environment do not usually offer full array of apps. Just like Mac OS or Windows, Linux offers thousands upon thousands of high-quality software titles that are easily found and installed. Most modern Linux distributions include App Store-like tools that are centralized and simplify application installations. For example, Ubuntu Linux and Ubuntu Software Center, which allows you to search among the thousands apps and install them in one centralized location. Lilo is the most popular bootloader among computer users that employs Linux as the only or the main operating system. Kakat mo na lang? Lilo is the most popular bootloader among computer users that employs Linux as the main or the only operating system. The primary advantage of Lilo is the fact that it allows for fast boot up. Loadin is prepared by some users whose computers have multiple operating systems and spend a little time in Linux. Loadin is sometimes used as a backup loader for Linux in case Lilo fails. Lastly, the Grab. Grab or the Grand Unified Bootloader is prepared by many users of Red Hat Linux because it is the default bootloader for that distribution.
Let's talk about the distribution of Linux. The first one is Fedora. Fedora has a free version of Red Hat, whose RHEL. RHEL means Red Hat Enterprise Linux. The second is the Linux Mint. Linux Mint is unique to the distro a variety of graphical tools for enhanced usability, such as Mint Desktop for configuring the desktop environment, Mint Install for easier installation, and Mint Menu for easier navigation. The third is PC Linux OS. Rather than GNOME, PC Linux OS uses the KDF desktop environment with a good support for graphic drivers, browser plugins, and media codecs. PC Linux OS can be a good choice for beginners. Its release cycle can be erratic, tough, and there is also no 64-bit version of the software. The fourth is Mandriva. Mandriva is formerly known as Mandrake. Mandriva is notable for its cutting-edge software, excellent administration suite, and 64-bit edition. The fifth is Arch Linux Plus Locker. Arch is another package aimed primarily at experienced users interested in tweaking and optimizing SIM systems. Though not in the top 10 currently, Slackware is similarly oriented toward Linux use. The fourth is Mandriva. Mandriva is formerly known as Mandrake. Mandriva is notable for its cutting-edge software, excellent administration suite, and 64-bit edition. It was also the first major distribution to jump on the netbook bandwagon with out-of-the-box support. The fifth is Arch Linux Plus Locker. Arch is another package aimed primarily at experienced users interested in tweaking and optimizing SIM systems. Though not in the top 10 currently, Slackware is similarly oriented toward Linux use.
The sixth is Ubuntu. Ubuntu is the most popular flavor of Linux and the longevity. It's recommended strongly for Linux newbies as it's extremely accessible. The new versions of Ubuntu are released every 6 months and every other week. The developer Canonical releases an LTS version of Ubuntu. The seventh is CentOS. CentOS is a community option of the enterprise version of the Red Hat Linux, and its focus is on stability rather than updates. CentOS is designed to be super reliable, which is why it's a great choice for a server. The eighth is Zorin OS. Zorin OS is yet another Ubuntu-based distribution which happens to be one of the most good-looking and intuitive OS for desktop. The ninth is Sabayon or Gentoo. Italian Sabayon is essentially a live CD version of Gentoo, which is known for all allowing users and individually optimize each component. The 10th and the final of distribution of OS is the MX Linux. MX Linux is an increasingly popular Linux distribution based on Debian with XFCE as its own desktop environment, with a lot of GUI tools which makes it easier for any users comfortable with Windows or Mac originally.
So for now, we're gonna talk about the terminal. The terminal allows you to execute command on the droplet. The terminal allows you to accomplish your all administrative tasks like file manipulation, package installation, and user management. The terminal is interactive. You specify commands to run. Executing a command, you use a keyboard like pressing the enter after you enter the command.
So in this video, we are not gonna show you how to install a Linux OS, but there are many ways to install it. You could search it on the internet. So for now, I have this Kali Linux OS ready. So I'm gonna teach you about the terminal of a Linux OS and the basic operations and commands in the Linux OS. So we're gonna open the terminal. The first command is the pwd command. We're just gonna type the pwd and press enter. Now, the pwd command allows you to see what directory you are currently active in. Now, the second command is the ls command. Now, the ls command shows you the other files and directories that exist in your current working directory. So that is the bar, the desktop, the documents, the downloads, music, pictures, public templates, and videos. Now, if you want to change the directory, we specify the command cd and the name of the directory you want to go in. So let's say desktop. Now, we are in the directory desktop. But if we want to get back to the recent directory, we specify the command cd again, but we need now the space, then double dot. Now, if we want to check the current directory we are in again, is we type the pwd. Now, we are in the root directory again. Now, if we want to create a new directory, we specify the command mkdir. So let's say mkdir space the name of the directory you want to create. Let's say Linux tutorial. Now, if we want to check the mkdir Linux tutorial, we will specify the command ls. Now, as you see, we have the Linux command, Linux and tutorial directory file or folder. Now, if we want to remove a directory, we specify the command rm/d, then the name of the directory. So for the continuation of the video, we are gonna display the directories and files we have to show that the tutorial and Linux file or directory is deleted. So let's type ls then enter. So now we don't have the tutorial and the Linux directory. And as you can see, we have a foobar.save files here. So that's the file that I have created before. So how did I do that? So you specify the commands touch, then the name of the file you want to add. So let's say Linux again. Linux. Now, we have created a file called Linux right there. Now, if we want to add or edit the Linux file, we specify the command nano, then the name of the file. Now, let's say we want to display hello world. Then, if we want to save that, we just press Ctrl X, then press Y, then enter. That's done. If we want to display the Linux file, we specify the command cat, then the name of the file. Now, there is another display method, which is the less command. But in this method, it will display a very long template because this less command is used to display a very long input of files. So, as you can see, we have this hello world and there are too many space here. So that is our last basic operation for today's discussion.